Stage 18 is the last day in the Alps before the mountain time trial on Friday. Miguel Indurain has an almost unbeatable lead of 7 minutes 21 seconds over Richard Virenque in second place, with Pantani and Luc Leblanc still closely packed in the fight for third place. It looks like being a hot, fast day over 3 first category climbs, so we could be seeing a lot of riders in trouble on the 174 kilometres to the finish in Cluses. The backboard showing that the lead at the moment is extending as far as Ugrumov is concerned over this man here, Lino, who is in third spot. Ugrumov in the lead, chased by Kaspuris, or in fact he's overtaken Kaspuris now, the man who started all the action. 100 kilometres had been covered before Kaspuris took off. The early breakaway we had this morning, de Klerk and Kasani, joined by Pulnikov and Vona, they got caught back after some 90-odd kilometre racing. Then at 100 kilometres off went Kaspuris, and now at just after Grand Bonnard, after he'd been out in the lead for well over 40 kilometres, he got caught by Ugrumov and dropped in Kaspuris. He's wedged between this man here, Pasqualino, and the Goispelan rider who finished second yesterday, and is now, I think, rather smarting on the fact that he didn't win the stage and has romped down the road. And so we've got quite an interesting situation. Kaspuris in second place behind Ugrumov. This man is in third. The last we saw in the pink jersey was Breukink lying fourth, and then the main pack led by the Benestos powering on. Here they are still looking to sweep up Breukink, but no reaction from any other team at all. And I say that, it looks like Leblanc being to slide up here on the front, keeping an eye on Pantani. This morning, as we came into the stage, Luc Leblanc and Pantani were split by only some 27 seconds. So this is the last opportunity. Well, I suppose in the time trial, perhaps Leblanc thinks he might get it back then. Would he be a better time trialist than Pantani? Well, it's uphill one.
Leblanc can do very good time trials, of course, but in the last 2 years anyway, he hasn't done great time trials. So with Pantani is a very unknown element. Like this morning I spoke to Charlie Mutte. Charlie Mutte said to me that Marco Pantani is the best rider I've ever seen since Lucho Herrera, the great Colombian climber, some 6-7 years ago, when Herrera was at his best. I mean, so that's some compliment for Pantani. He said that Pantani is, in his estimation, was better than Lucho Herrera. Never seen anybody be able to take off and leave a group the way Pantani does in the Tour de France.
Well, let's hope then that his knee has recovered, and we'll see him do that up this final climb of the day, or perhaps he's just going to sit there and wait for the time trial. He has to defend the third place he's got now, Pantani. The order on general classification, Virenque 7 minutes and 21 seconds down on Indurain. As I say, it doesn't look like it's going to trouble the judges on that one, so the battle is on for the lower placings behind that. Pantani and Virenque separated by only some 50 seconds at the moment, so that could be a real cliffhanger on the time trial tomorrow if nothing happens today. And Leblanc and Pantani split by only some 27 seconds, so it's very close in the top 2, 3 and 4 places. Conti back in 5th place, 10 minutes and 4 seconds down, so he's about 2.5 minutes adrift to Leblanc. So I think there's not much change in the positions just there. But when the time trial comes, there may be one rider climbing over another one, but at the moment it doesn't look like Miguel Indurain is going to be in any trouble getting to Paris. But you never know in this game here. Odd things can happen, but somehow Pantani's got a lot to do to pull back 8 minutes 11 seconds. We don't have any uphill finish except the time trial tomorrow, which could be quite respectable as far as they're concerned, the little mountain climbers. And you never know, might close that gap down on the leader, but after that then we've got 2 flat stages, and the Benessos on the flat will heave a sigh of relief, and with the sprinting specialists like Abdul Jafarov looking for another stage victory, then they could probably put the lid on it for the last 2 days. Well, all be revealed on Eurosport, because we'll be with you on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, bringing you the best action from the Tour de France, and then we'll finish on the Champs-Élysées, live action of those last 9 laps up and down that very famous road, and around the Tuileries, and up towards the Arc de Triomphe, and it's a great day out. So let's hope the sun shines. Certainly weather's get a lot better. We've had a couple of very, very cold days indeed as far as the ride is concerned, though I do understand back in Great Britain you've been sweltering under the heat, and certainly some of our audience in the northern climes too have had better weather than we've had with the Tour. But it was a welcome respite for the riders, these very tired men. 125 of them finished yesterday. Armandas Cuevas did not start this morning, and Mantovan of the career team has gone out as well, so we're down to 123 out of the 189 that started. So in fact we've lost somewhere in excess of 50 riders. In fact, it's getting on to 60 odd now have actually gone by the wayside. So it has been thinned down, and today the race again has thinned down the non-mountain climbers. We're looking at the specialists here again, with the Benesto team towing on the yellow jersey. Pulikov on the left-hand side, Pantani there for Korea. That's the white jersey with the big red splash in front of it. Korea, they're a jean manufacturing company, and that's why the riders have the shorts that look like they're cut-down jeans. A very simple way of promoting the company's products, but now it looks like Pantani is beginning to get himself in a position. Is this an opportunity now for him to start to go? We've got the final climb then of the day up the Col de la Colombière coming, and Ugramov leads at the moment, followed by Kaspuris, followed by Alino, followed by Breukink, and the main group beginning to position themselves if something might happen.
Well, Pulnikov, if you remember yesterday, did a fantastic ride for Pantani. He was 7th yesterday overall, but because of his efforts yesterday, he lost 10 minutes, went down to 10th place overall, now 19 minutes and 15 seconds behind Mikel Indurain. And here he is again today, having another go to help Pantani. So he's doing a great job here for the Carrera team. He's sacrificing his own 10th place again for Pantani. So, but the aim here, I'd say, is to we saw Indurain lying in 3rd place with Gerard Rouet and with Bernard riding in the front rows. And Pantani must try and eliminate them before he goes, because if he doesn't eliminate them, Indurain always has somebody to help him ride after him. So the idea is to isolate Indurain so that before he gets help, he will have open up as big a gap as possible. So it's very important that they're strung out and not let do what they want to do.
And Lino really bit in no man's land likewise too, because none of his teammates have been able to come up to him, so he hasn't been able to close the gap down on the leader. So this might be a difficult position to be in, Steve. What would you do? Sit up and wait for them to come up, or persist and just slow down a bit, so you're waiting until they come up without using much effort? Because he hasn't caught the leader. The gap's growing all the time, isn't it? I mean, I was living in hope that they might sort of suddenly slow down at the front.
It depends on the team tactics, like, because the only other purpose the only other way he can be help his teammates by being in the front is that if they have planned to attack on the final hill, so that if, for example, LeBlanc attacked and got out into no man's land, at least he's out there waiting for him, or if the same thing for Varang. So it's difficult for us to say, because we don't know what the team tactics were this morning. But Pulnikov is now doing a good job here, because the group is splitting, as you can see in the background. So, but Jean-François Bernard is still there with Indurain. We don't see Gerard Rouet, maybe Conti is in there, Zuli is in there, Leblanc is there. Still a sizable group, but there are riders going at the back. So.
And Pantani, the cameras are closing up on this man. Everybody's beginning to think then, has he got the recovery? Has he got the guts to go when his knee's been paining? He did it yesterday. He surprised us all. We thought that perhaps he was going to climb off his bike, but he didn't. He soldiered on despite the crash he got and went after the leaders on the climb. He punched time out of everybody, took himself into 3rd spot, and he's now sitting in this little group behind the Benestos, and of course Pulikov doing tremendous work on the front too, as we get to 25 kilometres to go for our leader Ugramov, who romped away, caught to Kaspuris. He's now dropped him. Kaspuris, the man who started all the action after 100 kilometres had been covered. Here, Ugramov looking for the victory which eluded him yesterday.
We didn't see, looking back there, we didn't see Richard Verhank. He was saying yesterday that their tactics were to either himself or Luc Leblanc to stay on Pantani's wheel, whereas they know very well that Pantani is going to try and attack again today. So I'm very surprised to see him not actually sitting on Pantani's wheel, as we see Eric Breukink, unfortunately for himself, being swallowed up by the yellow jersey group of Mikel Indurain.
And he's looking for a spot to get in, but I think he's just a bit sluggish in the legs now, and I'm looking for any more pink jerseys. Yes, Zula's still there anyway.
Also, we see here that the tempo of Pantani has sent Jean-François Bernard going back from the 2nd place back down to the back of the group now. So the tactic of the Carrera team here now would be to have to eliminate as many as the Benesto team riders as possible, and of course that meaning Jean-François Bernard and Gerard Rouet. Like that, Mikel Indurain will have no official teammates to help him then. But then we might see, of course, the Contis, the Roberto Conti coming along, or somebody else coming along to help him, but he will have no actual Banesta riders.
And Ugrimov then, with less than 25 kilometres to go to finish, desperately now digging deep into his reserves after that wonderful break he was in yesterday. He looks very determined at the moment. The famous colours, the Gavis-Balan team, become so familiar on television. We watch them romp along, first, second and third. They've been getting in like the Flèche Wallonne, and great success with young birds in the Liège Baston Liège. They opened up the season with a success when Furlan won the Milan-San Remo. And here another team who's doing well this year too is Festina, but Lino looks like he's having difficulty now, and he's dropped back to 2:33. He got to within 43 seconds at one time, but he's now 2:33 in arrears.
And the climb is starting to get steeper from now on up, so maybe now I'd say his team manager is hoping to ease up and wait for the group, because he's more useful to Leblanc and to Virenque than riding it down on his own for a second place. The possibility of having a hyper in second place, but using up an awful lot of energy. But Pulnikov is doing a great job here. Here's Virenque now has come up onto the wheel of Leblanc, so Mikel Indren has the two boys where he wants them, and Virenque will be waiting for the attack of Partani to try and go with him.
And so coming up then towards the 25 kilometre to go point, he might be able to catch up with Kasputis and take a second place, but we're not sure yet where Kasputis is. Lino on his own in third spot. Around about 2:35 on my watch, which they gave 2:33 the official time further down, so he's still holding about that, but he's been dropping back ever since we went over the top of the Col de la Croix Fry after 129 kilometres, and the bunch now making determined efforts to cut the gap, and it's Pulnikov who's burying himself on the front here for the Carrera team. The great disappointment then that Claudio Chiappucci had to retire. One other man that had to retire, though, Franz Maassen, with the boil on his bum. And the interesting thing was that as he had to go back home then, he was able to be there at the birth of his first infant on last Saturday. So Maassen was there, otherwise he'd been on the race while his wife gave birth. So he was there, but he was there for reasons I don't think Franz would have liked to have gone back out of the tour for the boil. He would like to stay soldering on because he's competed all the tours he's ever ridden in the past. But we wish you, Franz, your wife and the new offspring all the best, and happy return to health as far as you're concerned too. See you in some of the classics before the end of the year. The crowd then very appreciative in large numbers. The Danish flag on the left-hand side there. Well, they've had successes. They had Sorensman has stayed. They've had a stage win from Bjorn Ries as well this year, and one from Bo Hamburger. So the Danes very happy. And now, are we going to get the victory which we've been waiting for? Now the clock here set on the 25 kilometres to go, and it's just 4 minutes and 5 seconds is the gap back to the main group. So that's about the same as it was at the top of the climb. So good ride by Ugrimov.
It is, and looking at him a few minutes ago, he is going very, very well. There's no sign of him losing any speed at all. He's going very, very well. So this group here behind now is being brought along by Vladimir Pulnikov, but hopefully once again our friend Pantani hasn't left it too late then to go for a stage win, but I think it'll be very difficult for him to stay away.
And moment then of worry as far as Lino's concerned. Look, his two teammates now really, Festina, are not going to be too bothered about pulling him back, because he's had a chance to try and catch the leader. It's not going to work out, so Festina can now set off in hot pursuit. They've really got to sit close to Pantani, because Luc Leblanc here on Pantani's wheel. The difference between those two on general classification this morning was just some 27 seconds, and Luc Leblanc will be trying to grab that back at some point on the way in, because they only put the top three on the podium in Paris. Indren, Virenque and Pantani at the moment are first, second and third on general classification, and Leblanc smarting under the fact that as Pantani roared away yesterday, he just couldn't close him down towards the end of the stage, and he lost well over a minute on Pantani and lost the third spot as well. So this road then zigzagging back and forth. Yes, you can see down the road Kasputis is coming back now, so it might be a second place for Lino. The crowd appreciating his performance that he's doing now. You can can see Casputis in the distance, and then this road turns sharp right back again, and it goes up the climb, and it goes zigzags all the way, and they're not very steep climbs, they're not very steep hairpins, but it's just constant climbing in these tired legs of these riders who've now covered something like about 3,500 kilometres since we set out from Lille on 3 weeks this coming Saturday.
This part of the climb here, Le Grand Bournon, is where a lot of riders come on training camps. So you see here, Punikov has pulled over to the right. He's done his stint in the front now. There's nothing left, so he just lets them go. So it's interesting to see now who is actually leading on the front. Is it Pontani who's riding on the front? It is Pontani riding in front, yeah. But he's riding on the front, but he's not actually going to get away because he's Pontani, to get away, he must jump away. He cannot. If he keeps riding on the front, he won't ride him off as the other guys off his wheel. Especially not on a climb like this climb today, because if it was a climb like yesterday where he used a 41.23, that's a climber's hill, where today's hill is like a 41.21, so it's more of a strongman's hill. So Pontani will not be able to ride away from him. The only way he can get away is if he jumps away.
And Ugrabov here on the De Rosa bicycle. De Rosa used to be one of Merckx's manufacturers when Merckx was riding, and a very nice Italian manufacturer of handcrafted frames, and the Pantani still then with the yellow jersey of Ugrabov. But just behind him is the pink and blue colours of Conti, and then Bronc is just following behind the Luc Leblanc for the Festina. We've got two riders sitting in there at the moment, and Pantani just spinning that gear around, has really stretched him out. Now he's going, and Indrain's trying to catch him. He's suddenly accelerated. What an amazing burst of speed. He looks back over his shoulder. He hasn't shaken them off. That was the first turn on the pedal. That was the first attempt to get rid of it. He looks nonchalantly up towards the left-hand side, but if you look back down the road, the damage is being done, and the man here saying with a baton, go on, cameraman, get out of the way, because this is a point when the chips are down. And there, Pantani from Indrain, from Leblanc, from Veron, Conti then behind, and just one other rider. I think it might be Ellie at the back. We haven't had a good look at the final man, but Pantani spun the gears and stretched the field. Now he's just eased back a bit, looking over his shoulder. He didn't get away that time. Indrain responded. Well, he's let him go before, but Indrain didn't
it's a good move now, going back to the back now, because I was saying, like, the only way that Pantani will get away is if he can do it by surprise and actually get a little gap on him. But I'm sure if Pantani doesn't ride him off his wheel, the only good thing you can get out of it then is by maybe dropping Luc Leblanc or getting, so he can more or less guarantee his third place in general classification, because tomorrow, with Leblanc only being some 27 seconds down on Pantani for general classification, he's not sure to hold on to third place tomorrow in the time trial. So Pantani would like, I'm sure, to do some damage and to get Leblanc, put more time between himself and Leblanc, and if possible, of course, get rid of Bianc and move into second place. But I don't think that this hill is actually steep enough for Pantani to do any major damage.
Well, he tried then and failed, and Conti's moving up now, so Indrain likewise can roll that big gear on a climb like this. It's not one of those nasty short sharp ones, so he's rolling quite a big gear, and Pantani must now rethink his tactics, because Indrain it was that responded that time, although Indrain really with a lead of about 8 minutes 11 seconds over Pantani. That must have been merely a psychological move on his part to try and just show that, look, you haven't beat me yet, young man.
No, well, like Mikel, like it's in his own interest to have this group stay away. Like if he starts hedging, nobody will ride, and then someone else can attack. And if you're riding along at 25, 30 kilometers an hour and you attack, it's very easy to go with a group. But if you're riding along at 12 kilometers an hour and it attack, the difference in the speed is so great that it takes much more effort to get onto the wheel. So it's Indurain's interest that the group has kept riding along at a good tempo. Like that, it keeps down the attacks, and it keeps some of those boys from behind away.
So whilst that battle's going on behind, we've taken our eye off the man who's in the lead, and the last time check we had, looking at this little chart here, was 2:33 back to Lino, and over 4 minutes back to the group here with now Conti leading what's left of the yellow jersey bunch. You can see the team cars pulled over on the side there, and what is going on? Something's happened. Something happened. There's somebody down.
Leblanc. Lino or Leblanc? Leblanc, I'd say.
mass spectators. One of the riders, LeBlanc, suddenly came to a halt. Whether he hit somebody or not, we don't know, but LeBlanc has now got to go.
Look at the gear he's riding, Dave. Look at the gear he's riding.
What a disappointment. He lost third place yesterday, and now he's been brought down. He's had a problem, and he's got to get back up there. And here's Kasputis being reeled in by Pascal Lino. So first on the road is Ugrimov. In second spot, Lino. Here, Kasputis drifting back. We've got a hell of a race today. I thought maybe they might do a rolling over, but they've been bang, bang, bang all the way since we started today. But attacks coming thick and fast, with riders still desperately trying to get a stage victory before the sprinters come into their own the day after tomorrow. Because tomorrow, I suppose, is going to probably be Indurain looking for yet another time trial victory. Although it's an uphill one, he's an odds-on favourite to win tomorrow, so you probably get quite decent odds on somebody else, but not on Indurain to win the time trial tomorrow. But a chance here then for Ugrimov to get the victory. He tried yesterday and failed when Rodriguez came off. Actually, Rodriguez has been shot out of that group, so he's just getting his own back in more ways than one. As the police here on the front clearing the crowd away, two of the outriding gendarmes. They did a marvellous job all the way through. And in our commentary earlier on during the week, I was applauding Alan Rushton and Sport for Television and Michael Bennett and all the crowd for the work they did in the British stages and the way in which the councils reacted as well. But I must say the British police did a marvellous job too. They turned out in massive numbers, and there's good-natured reaction between the crowd. And when you think about it, we had to close down the roads in Great Britain for the Tour de France to come through 3 hours before the race came through. The police didn't have an easy task to do, and I think they did a marvellous job. And the gendarmes from France also went across, or they had to take their guns off. They were not allowed to have their pistols on their hips. They took those off, and the British and the gendarmes from the French side of the race, they intermingled and they rode well together, and it helped the thing go through. Massive crowd we had in Great Britain. We've got a massive crowd here today cheering this man then, Piotr Ugrimov, digging down deep to get over the top of this climb. When he's over the top, then he can go whizzing down the other side in towards the finish at Cluses. Just 20 kilometres off the top of this climb lie between Piotr Ugrimov and a stage victory that he desperately wanted, won yesterday. Let's keep our fingers crossed for him today.
Well, now it's all downhill to the finish now, so he's a good chance now of staying away and getting revenge for yesterday. But I'd say, looking back at Luc Leblanc a few minutes ago when he came off, I'd say he should get back on himself, because he looked very, very strong, using a very big gear, but looking very strong indeed. So I'd say Luc Leblanc will get back onto the Indurain group.
And the gap last time check we had back to Pascal Lino was 2 minutes and 33 seconds, and so it looks at the moment as if Lino is probably holding that. We'll wait and see as we get toward the top then. It's confirmation. In fact, it's gone back 3:35. I thought we were much closer to the top of the climb than we actually are. So 3:35, and it's splitting here. The attacks are coming thick and fast again, and it looks like Leblanc has gone straight through from the back to the front and put almighty load of pressure on to the riders at the back here. Just being shelled off now. Escartin's having difficulty. Conti's having difficulty. Leblanc, having been brought down or had some problems, has gone straight past the yellow jersey group, straight past Ferrong, straight past Pantani, and he's desperately keen to try and pull back those 27 seconds which separate himself from Pantani on the third place, but he hasn't made it. He's rolled up on a big gear, and now Pantani's gone onto his wheel just to control him, as far as Indurain's concerned, this certainly is going to help him with those chaps jumping around like that.
It will, but Leblanc, using the big gear that we see him riding there, he's not going to go anywhere. Like he's using too big of a gear.
1 kilometre from the top then for the yellow jersey group. What's little bit of left of it. In fact, he's fought his way back at the moment then, has Fernando Escartin, the Rapé class rider, at the back of this group. Conti's also hanging on for grim death in the purple and blue colours of the Lamprey team, and Indurain for Badesso in the yellow, the two Festina riders there, the polka dot jersey for Runken on the front, Luc Leblanc, and then the career rider Pantani sitting on Leblanc's wheel. He's certainly not going to get away now. Well, Pantani tried his desperate best to get away further down the slope. He hasn't made it, so now he's just got to sit on Leblanc and make sure he doesn't lose anything on the way down in towards the finish.
I think Pantani now will have settled more or less now that he's not going to get away. He realised that the hill is not as big, or not as steep as he would have liked to have been, because even though he might have a go now and try and get away, he won't get as big a gap as he would like between now and the top to help him to get to the finish. So he might just try, but I think maybe he's resigned himself now that the hill is not hard enough for him. And you see all this big crowd also out on the side of the road. Like, there's very little place, very little room on the road, as Pascalino has been caught as they're heading up now to the drop of the mountain.
Even though he's been caught and he tried desperately, put 3 Festinas in that group there. That was quite tremendous the way they've come on song now from a team that had all those problems early in the year. They're looking, they are undoubted. Oh, he's got blown out, poor chap. Oh.
Yeah, so they're coming to the top of the hill now, so Lino will get back on the descent.
And Indurain is going away as well. Indurain at the top of the climb has put the pressure on Veronk, and Veronk for once in a while has not got himself the points. I think he's just shown him a look, young lad, I'll show you a thing or two. And Pantani just tail off as well, so Big Mig himself is wagged a finger, metaphorically speaking.
Well, behind, like, he's a pain really, doing what he's doing, like, and Miguel just wanted to show him, listen, like, if I want to do it, I can do it, so there's no point in every time going off and leaving us like 20 yards behind trailing, so it doesn't look good for anybody. So if you want to do it discreetly, but don't be jumping every time the road goes up.
And on the descent, the riders thundering down, just 20 kilometres to go to the finish at Cluses. This is a fast descent, this one, and no real climbs ahead to split the field yet again. The remnants of that main group, Pellicchioli coming over the top here, did quite well in the King of the Mountains competition in the Tour of Italy early on. He's managed to get over there just off the back of the yellow jersey group, and Miguel Indurain has gone so well. Look, he split off. Zulla's got dropped, Volz has got dropped. We're not surprised to see that Punikov is dropped because he did so well. He did a good ride then for Pantani, but he's also got shelled out. Ellie's been off the back there. Reese is there as well. They're 4 minutes 50 seconds down on Ugrimov over the top of the climb. Less than 20 kilometres to go to the finish. Indurain dropping down this climb. He went over the top of the hill with the rest of the group, and he's pushing on now. He's accelerating, isn't he?
Yeah. Miguel is actually attacking. He's been criticised heavily over the last couple of years, never attacking and never winning stages. And maybe he decided today is going to the day where he shows everybody that he's capable of doing. He has a big gap as well. Look at that. He's got a big gap. So. Even though Ugrimov was too far ahead possibly to win the stage, he's left all his main people behind him, so that'll at least make Vihank and LeBlanc and the other boys wake up a little bit. It's great to see him going away. But Miguel also is a great descender, and also is very heavy, so it helps him going down as well.
Conti pedaling like crazy to try and get up there. This man who won the stage in the up the Alpe d'Huez, his first ever victory in the Tour de France, his first victory since he turned pro, being shelled out the back by the sheer speed of Indurain. Look how Indurain has opened up the gaps on the way down. Cameron having difficulty holding these riders. They're dropping at over 50 miles an hour down here. It's a very, very fast straight descent, very, very fast descent, fairly smooth, not too many really sharp hairpin bends. This is one of them here, but they're not as tight as we've been seeing on some of the other alpine climbs yesterday, but nevertheless it's suiting Big Mig, who's gone away, and of course Pantani's got to stay with LeBlanc as well, and LeBlanc is just in front.
No, that's not Vihank is in front, but LeBlanc is great now for Pantani if he can get onto this group now with Vihank and with Duran, because the more time that Pantani can put into LeBlanc, the more safe he would be, his third place in general. So here we have a first, second and third on general classification here together.
And he's using his usual position here, which Stephen was saying is much quicker on the descent. We'll soon be able to see them because he's got one of the fastest descenders in the business up in front of him, Miguel Indurain. Oh, he's going clipping the curb though. I mean, as he comes back off the saddle there, he's got to get himself on the bike to control it and just apply the brakes. He's really taking enormous risks here, Pantani.
I wouldn't say he's taking the risks, but he's so light. Like he has to take the shortest road as he can. So you can see him cutting the corners
by going behind the saddle. Surely that's a risk when you
it is, control the bike. That's surely a risk as well. Sure, yeah. I will see Vihank getting back onto Miguel Indurain. I just hope now that Pantani can get back on as well, because Pantani in the time trial tomorrow could, in my opinion, could beat Vihank, and Vihank knows that as well. So when he gets on to Miguel Indurain, he would ride his eyeballs out, I'm sure, with Mikel, because he knows that Pantani is dangerous for his second place on the end of classification. So he'll be doing everything he can to help keep the distance between himself and Pantani.
Well, there's only 50 seconds separating Vihank from Pantani on the general classification. Only 27 seconds separate Pantani from LeBlanc as well.
Vihank has gone through, you see what I mean? Vihank has gone through, he's riding with Mikel now, so Mikel wants to do this, Vihank wants to do this, so that hoping that Pantani doesn't get back on again.
If it wasn't for the yellow jersey, we'd have a pretty good bike race here, wouldn't we? Because the second, third and fourth are all so closely packed together. They're racing each other like crazy at the moment. Miguel Indurain can, of course, take advantage of that, but even so, he's determined here to show he's still the boss. He
is, but Richard Vihank is also a very, very good descender also. He rides motorbikes and he's very good skier, and loves descending, so he's by no means a bad descender. So, but at the same time, if Pantani can even get on to Miguel Indurain, who is just so... poor Pantani, he hasn't got no weight at all on him to... He probably should get a bottle of lead on the top of the hill maybe to help him descend, but it's just an oil on the ground, I hope. No, it's not. But Pantani, like, giving his weight, he's descending very, very well. Hopefully he'll get back on to Indurain here in the next couple of...
He has to do a lot more pedaling, doesn't he, when he comes out the bends, and the others would allow the speed to take them. He seems to be having to do a lot more work at the moment.
He is. That position just gets me. When I look at him going down, it makes me very, very nervous. I'm afraid to see him going off again. But still, he's descending exceptionally well, like for a guy that's so light.
And the question is, where has LeBlanc got to? Because that is the man that lost his third place to this fellow here, looking at Pantani, who really burst upon the scene when he took two stages in quick succession in the Tour of Italy on the Saturday and Sunday before the final weekend of the race. He rocketed up into second place overall, then surprised a lot of people, but to look back at his career as an amateur, he had both a third, a second and a first place in the Amateur Tour of Italy. So those are 3 years of success as an amateur, and having turned pro then got himself that second place this time.
Here's Luc Leblanc going there. Look at how slow Luc Leblanc is going down the hills. It's okay going up hills, but when he can't come down, it's a big handicap when you're riding the Tour de France or when you're riding a stage race, and Leblanc has always been a handicap with this. So it's to the advantage of Pantani now that if he can get onto the wheel of Indurain.
Pantani throwing caution to the wind with his unusual style, but he's just got to make sure that he doesn't go into the edge of the road. This just 9 kilometres to go to finish, so LeBlanc has got to accelerate. They come out to about the last 3 kilometres. He does flatten down a little bit, but no, that in fact was Ugrimov we were with then.
Yeah, Ugrimov has 9 kilometres to go, but these boys are about a kilometre more only, because they're about 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes down now, I'd say. So as you see Indurain here getting back to Vihank. So he's going through as well, you know. So I just hope now that this is not good for Pantani, because there's 2 men there riding on the front, and Pantani is there on his own. So and 2 powerful men like Mikel, being a powerful man with the big ears, and as Vihank comes right straight away, he knows danger with Pantani, as Pantani is not too far away, but on a straight road it's very difficult for Pantani to come back. So I just hope he goes back.
Pantani,
come on Pantani, come on.
He's got them in sight anyway, so if he wants some encouragement, he can see them, and the gap at the moment is just 5 seconds. That may not seem very much, but at this speed, it's going to take a lot of pulling back, and he's still rolling down this hillside, accelerating. LeBlanc is not holding it, and here, Pasqualino in second spot.
LeBlanc,
my mistake.
LeBlanc's coming back. LeBlanc coming back, so LeBlanc has to come back, but where is he coming back to? We don't know if he's in the group behind or if he's the next man behind Pantani. We don't know yet. We haven't seen it from our cameras, but I just hope that Pantani can get back across to this group. It's very difficult for him, though.
Indurain, a quick look over his shoulder to see where Pantani's got to. And the polka dot jersey of the King of the Mountains, Vihank, who undoubtedly, barring accidents, will take that jersey triumphantly up and down the Champs-Élysées on Sunday, where Eurosport will be covering the final stage of the Tour de France. So with you on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and although the race seems to be for second place, it's a cracking race anyway. Indurain is taking part in the proceedings now. For a lot of the time he's just been riding a very cold, calculating way, allowing a few people to get away and take a few minutes here and there and everywhere. But right now today, he doesn't have to go this hard, Indurain, but I think he said, look, I could do with perhaps he wants the training for the time trial tomorrow. You never know his tactics, do you? Or
No.
just to show the people he's still boss.
Well, he's in the front, so when you're in the front, you don't ease up. But when he's with somebody like Virenque as well, like he could sit up and just ride with.
Some trouble here for LeBlanc, isn't
Yeah,
there?
his brake. Yeah. Maybe he changed the wheel a few minutes ago. Maybe the wheel was over to one side, maybe, and maybe it didn't fall off. Maybe it was only the wheel pulled, maybe when he's going up the hill. Yeah, Ugermov has a fair lead because he went down to 9 kilometres a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And Virenque and...
well, it was 4 minutes and 4 seconds off of the climb. Even if he doesn't come down quite as quick as these days, but it can't be less than 3 minutes, I'd have thought. So it looks like he's going to get his stage victory. But we're interested here in how that Virenque and Indurain go. But still more trouble for LeBlanc on that crash. It must have done something.
Well, it may not have been a crash. Maybe it's been only a wheel change.
Punctured, yeah.
If he changed the wheel, maybe the brakes maybe are off to one side, maybe. So because when you put in wheels in a panic situation, you don't really be careful what you're doing. So 3:10 for Ugermov now to the yellow jersey of Miguel Indurain.
So they certainly have caught back something on the descent, because over the top of the climb the gap was well around about 4 minutes as such. They're averaging some 70 kilometres per hour on the descent, and look at the bus still wandering over the top of the climb. Well,
they're in a bad way.
Yeah,
you can see them, there's nobody. They're only kind of throwing the bike over the top of the hill. They know it's the last hill of the Tour de France, so there's an awful lot of happy men here today, I'm sure.
And they probably will keep inside the time limit today, because it's a good downhill run into the finish, and they can get themselves all together and whistle down this drop here, so we won't have any trouble with eliminations unless there are one or two really sick men further off the back. Alan Cuevas did not start today. The man who dropped from 4th place to 17th yesterday had a bit of a fever and decided that he would call it a day. We lost Mantovan as well, and so today the field here on the Thursday dropping down into Cluses a bit shortened down to what's just 124 riders at 189 that started. We lost 65 riders in 18 stages when they've been averaging over 100 miles an hour at close, 100 miles a day at close on 25 miles an hour. Very fast, hard, hot Tour de France this year, but the man in the yellow jersey has counted all the moves. He's just got the big time trial tomorrow to stamp his authority on the race. But sorry about the picture break up there, but the way in which they're coming down through the bushes now, Virenque's gone away a bit.
He's going very well.
Yep.
Yeah, Virenque is he's going very well on the descent, so he's taking some risks, but he's going very well. He's even opening up a gap on Miguel Indurain, who is known to be one of the great descenders as well.
And bad luck for Pantani that these two have got together, because he's got nobody to ride with, and these two are slipstreaming each other. And Pantani is on his own. The last time check I got was about 5 seconds between him and these two riders here. But the biggest loser at the moment is Luc Leblanc, who is even further back, having trouble with his bike.
Well, Luc Leblanc, I'd say, should catch Pantani, I'd say, because Pantani, the problem with Pantani is on the flat he loses time, so there's a little bit of flat before we get to the finish. So I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if Leblanc does get across to Pantani on the flat before the finish.
He looks over his shoulders, Virenque, to see that he's still got the menacing Hulk of the yellow jersey just still in behind him, and these two going down. Well, we had a heart-stopping moment when Indurain locked his brake the other day and skidded on the corner, but this run in toward the finish, there's no real sharp right-hand or left-hander of that type we had before. They look bad enough here, these two, but they're not quite as bad as the ones we've had before, with some very adverse cambers on them. So they're making all good use of the road, completely closed to traffic, so they know they can go from apex of one climb, apex of one corner into another one, and just a couple of kilometres to go then for Peter Ugermov, who has really earned this stage success today after the problems yesterday when Rodriguez popped off his wheel, and now these two riders here well inside 3.5 minutes or so, not far from the finish. Indurain not hanging about at all. Virenque on his wheel. Up in front is Ugermov heading for his stage victory, and Pantani still not caught up here, and the man in trouble, Leblanc, with his bike problems means that we'll be coming in to finish in penny numbers today. The last day in the Alps, so we got the time trial tomorrow. Although it's an uphill one, many of the riders will just ride themselves up that and save themselves then for the last 2 days, and hoping they can get some glory in the sprint finishes going in either in Paris when we finish on the Champs-Élysées on Sunday, or on Saturday when we go from Morzine to Lac-Saint-Point. Another flat day, and the mountain men have entertained us, and the gap back to Pantani has extended. It was 5 seconds last check, and there's no sign of Pantani at the moment. That's a tremendous gap, that one, Stephen.
Yeah, you're talking about 30 seconds now. It's a group here, so Pantani has been caught by the group here, I'd say, probably with Lino and Leblanc, I'd say.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Oh no, is it...
or is that Conti there?
Conti maybe, yeah. Our colour is not very great here on our screen. We don't know. It's very difficult to pick out what colours we have here in front. Pantani is there, that's for sure.
Pantani is on the back one, and that looks like
Conti is there. Conti.
Leblanc, I think, was
Conti
doing
Leblanc,
the work up the front.
Conti and Leblanc, yeah.
Well, there inside 4 kilometres goes the yellow jersey and the polka dot jersey, and Ugrimov now is well inside, coming towards the last kilometre of the race, so there's still that gap of just over 3 minutes between Ugrimov and the yellow jersey and the polka dot jersey. A great ride then by Ugrimov. We should see him coming to sight before long down the finishing straight. Leblanc here still trying to get away. Pantani wedged a little bit further back behind Conti, and he's just getting a little bit away, so it's a shame that he had that mechanical problem. He's desperately trying to get back some more vital seconds, because this morning, look, Leblanc then, compared with Pantani, just 27 seconds separated the two riders this morning, so Pantani's got to keep him in his sights and try and minimise any damage that's being done now, and settle the differences tomorrow in the time trial.
I don't know, is that Luc Leblanc behind, because
he must have got very quick.
Yeah, but Luc doesn't go down hills very well, so
well,
that's
Luc. Lino?
That's
Lino was in that group,
yeah.
wasn't it?
It's Luke, all right.
This is Petr Ugrimov. The flashing lights and lead car gone thundering through the finishing straight here. There's going to be no sprint finish as far as the bunch riders are concerned. They will be looking for the day after tomorrow to exercise their skills. But this man has shown tremendous courage. Yesterday he went away with his teammate Bjorn Ries. They took with him Rodriguez. They did something like about 60 miles on their own, and so today Ugrimov is going to get his stage victory, which he was picked to the post for yesterday.
If Ugrimov holds off the bunch behind Leblanc and Pantani, he could be up into third place.
So Ugrimov start this morning in 6th spot. He jumped up from 9th. Ugrimov then 11 minutes 34 seconds down on Indurain, but the gap between himself and Conti was just 1 minute and 30 seconds, so he could well have got, they certainly would have got Conti's position.
Leblanc and Lino, where is Pantani though?
He dropped back about 20 or 30 yards last time I saw him.
Yeah, Pantani was on the wheel of Luc Leblanc though, so has he had mechanical trouble or something?
Well, keep your fingers crossed. And Ugrimov and Leblanc were separated this morning by 3 minutes, all bar 4 seconds. So it's 2 minutes and 56 seconds separated Ugrimov from Leblanc. And in fact, of course, he might even be able to, Ugrimov, to move up over Pantani, because this morning he was just some 3 minutes and 23 seconds adrift. So it's going to be a real cliffhanger, this one, because Ugrimov might have leapt up into either second or third place.
And we haven't seen Pantani, so we don't understand. Our cameras have not gone back that far yet, but we saw him first of all ahead, just behind Miguel, but ahead of Leblanc, and then we saw Leblanc and Lino, and no sign of Pantani. So has Pantani had mechanical trouble? Has he fallen off? We don't know yet. Let's wait and see.
What a great day racing we've had. It's our last day in the Alps. If you excuse the fact, tomorrow we're going to have that time trial up the Alps, but nevertheless I'm talking about inline racing with the big bunch start, all 124 this morning, starting out on the stage into Cluses, and this is the race for second spot. Veronk on the front and Indurain behind. Well, Indurain, when he puts his mind to it, has got quite a useful sprint, and perhaps he's going to try and get himself a second spot.
Pantani is behind, yeah. But where's Leblanc and Lino? Are they in front or behind?
That's Conti there, isn't it? Just in
Conti,
front.
Yeah, and
well, we will see a much better shot when we come down into the finishing straight, because our cameraman could pick that one up, but certainly the time gap will be interesting. Back to Pantani, back to Veronk now. He this morning compared with Ugrumov.
Miguel's going to try and get a spread. Look at him, he had to bring him to big air.
And the gap on the clock there. Indurain's going to get this second place in the shimmering heat. Well, I saw him sprint very well in the World Championships this last year. And he's just shown again that not only can he charge on, not only can he climb, he can also sprint, taking second place in 2:39 back on Ugrumov. And in fact, that's Escartin. That's not LeBlanc. That's the Mapei class rider that's in there at the moment. No, that's Escartin. That's Escartin with Pantani.
Yeah.
So we've got Conti, Escartin, and Pantani. But here,
but look, LeBlanc's gone, isn't he? Luke is coming behind him.
He's back there with Lino, isn't he?
Yeah.
So look at that gap then. What has Ugrumov done today? How far up has he gone? Because he's challenging then to move up and try and take over the third spot. It's 3 minutes and 24 seconds back then to the 3:24 there, and 3:30 back to Luc Leblanc.
So he would have taken over the fourth place from Luc Leblanc. Pantani be just, I think, very tight. Calculate, Dave, calculate.
I'm just doing it now. It's 11. So the computer will probably do it faster than we do, so I'm just waiting here that it might come on before I get my mental arithmetic sorted out. 3 from that makes 8, and 2. He will have gone over LeBlanc. I think he's gone over LeBlanc, but not quite sure he's caught Pantani at the moment. 3, that's 11, 38.
No, tomorrow's going to be very tight tomorrow.
Touch and glow between him and Pantani, but he's certainly gone over Luc Leblanc, but we'll wait for the official confirmation of that one. So brilliant ride then by Petr Ugrumov. He was 9th day before yesterday. By his great ride to go in second place yesterday, he moved up from 9th to 6th, and now it looks like he's gone over into 4th, or maybe by a Nats whisker into 3rd spot as well. So no wonder he's elated today.
If tomorrow there's the stage now, the time trial, if Pantani starts off behind Ugrumov, Ugrumov is going to be a very, very good, strong rider for time trial as well. He's done a lot of effort yesterday and today, but he's also capable of doing a very good time trial tomorrow. Maybe get the 3rd place from Pantani. Hopefully not, but it's possible, I think.
Well, the man who activated is all there. Caspuris has just come in then. Nice to see him finish quite well up in the field. Moutiers just come in as well for the Motorola team. So he's somewhat recovered now. There we are. That's confirmation then. Back to Pantani. 3:25 was the gap then to Pantani. And Luc Leblanc even further back by about another 5 seconds. So 3:25 added on to, or taken off the gap of 11:36.
2 seconds only.
2 seconds?
2 seconds, yeah.
I said it was a Nats whisker. 2 seconds.
My calculations there. So roughly about 2 seconds.
Well,
so
that just give you some idea of how closely fought this race is.
It's a pity, as you're saying, Dave, it's a pity that Indurain is there in a way, because all the riders that are down there. Now Ugrumov now has come back from 17th place yesterday to 6th place. Now once again up to 4th place, and maybe even in 3rd place. So can you imagine like the race you would have if Indurain wasn't here?
Well, my calculator, I make it 8.90, and I make him 7 seconds down on Pantani, but certainly he's wedged himself neatly between himself and Leblanc. So we've got 3 men actually packed together with about 30 seconds. That's fighting for the 3rd spot. And of course, tomorrow in the time trial, we'll have to see how much effort has been put in by Veronk here, and whether he might be under threat as well. But Ugrumov done 2 cracking days racing, and here the man himself, Miguel Indurain, showing that he's still king of the pile. As there the river Avre just flows down in fact flows in towards Geneva and into the lake, and here we go, he's got him 3rd. Ugrimov. Well, Myris had got it the other way round, so my apologies to all your viewers. Pantani then back at 8.57. Ugrimov now 8.55, so it's a couple of seconds the other way, and that's a great ride by Ugrimov. And LeBlanc 9.29. Just look at those, 2 minutes and 7 seconds covering second, third, fourth and fifth. The man who's head and shoulders above the rest, though, is Miguel Indurain. We've got a very, very interesting time trial ahead on Friday. Big Mig might well get that one. He's still in the yellow jersey, but Ugramov's done a great ride to move into third today.